my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Yes.
To your feel-good breakfast show. It is a Wednesday. You know when they say you get over the Wednesday, the hump of the week?
Yes.
You are on your way to the weekend.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that. It's all downhill after that. Now, it's time for another edition of our new Wednesday feature where we focus on the unconventional side of law. So we're calling it So What Now? We've also said that, So What Now? And we're joined once again by our expert lawyer and director at Legalese.co.za, Eitan Stern.
Absolutely. So we're talking about fake news, Eitan. It's become a huge thing. In fact, a huge problem around the world to the point where it's become very difficult sometimes to differentiate between what is real and what's not. So recently, an Expresso team member found a fake news article online that used my identity and the name of Expresso as well to spread false stories, trying to actually scam people out there. So the question is, so now what? I'm saying I'm suing. No, I'm not suing. But look at that.
Not just yet.
Anyway, that's the one of the many pictures that has been used under that headline. He revealed his guest's loophole without her permission.
Yeah.
He's destroyed. I'm going to sue him. All that. Anyway, let's try and first define actually what is fake news.
Okay, cool. So fake news is any misinformation out there or propaganda out there through the media, through social media, through print media, which is aimed to try misguide people. Now, it's been around forever. Since as long as there's been media, there's been fake media. You know, and that's journalists paying for sources, that's journalists putting out articles without properly fact-checking them, and that's something like what just happened here. That's just plain misinformation.
Yeah. The
reality is with the advent of social media, it's just meant that you no longer need to have credentials in order to speak to the audience. So you've got, you know, social media sites that don't differentiate between what is real and what's not.
Yeah.
You've got incredibly easy access to the public because of advertising. That site doesn't need to be real. They can just pay and they can get traction. And you've got the what we call clickbait, in that the loudest article wins. So what's built is this whole industry around fake news, and it's become very popular because of political fake news and all different sorts.
Yeah. That's so crazy. What I want to know is a fake news article not illegal? I mean, I know Graham, myself, have been fighting this for a long time. A supposed article where we interviewed, you know, somebody on Bitcoin, and it was never true, but so many people fell for it. Should it not be illegal, though? Okay, so it's a really interesting question, that. So is it illegal? Well, yes and no. There can be parts of it which are illegal, and if the news article infringes your rights, it's illegal. But it's not illegal in the sense that we have freedom of speech. Now, think of it like this. Imagine I put an article online which said, Kaizer Chiefs were the best soccer team in South Africa. Now, a Pirates fan might read that and say, that is absolute fake news. Does that mean I shouldn't have the right to put out my article? The problem with regulating fake news is that what you are doing is you're regulating free speech. And often it is very hard to tell where free speech stops and fake news starts. So the problem with it, it's a very, very complex topic, and the reality of why we're struggling with it today is because if you make any rules around fake news, what you're starting to do is you're starting to limit free speech, and we're then into difficult territory. So it's complex.
So let's talk about the legal difference between what gets printed on actual news sites and something like a blog, personal blog. Is it exactly as you've just stated there? Well, let's kind of open it up a bit more. You spoke about the Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates fans difference, who might say, oh, this is the best team in the world. And then somebody says, well, how do you know that? Let's talk facts. Anyway, let's hold that question for a bit, because this is something we need to kind of dig a little bit deeper into, but very interesting stuff on, yes, our still very new Wednesday feature called So What Now?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right, we're back again on your Feel Good Breakfast show this Wednesday morning. So now what is the segment that we're in right now with our friend and legal expert, lawyer at Legalese.co.za, Eitan Stern. And we're talking about fake news and what's recently happened with not just myself, but with Graham and Leanne as well, where our pictures were used and there was a headline that said, Expresso has come under fire because we revealed someone's secret to trading on cryptocurrency. Completely fake news and meant to scam people, if you even dare to read that article any further. But don't even click on that, because it just causes a lot of problems. But we were wanting to know if there's a legal difference between what gets printed on an actual news site or something like a personal blog or a vlog.
Okay, so again, because we've got freedom of speech and our laws in South Africa protect journalists, it's very hard to regulate it. So unfortunately, while there are private rights, which we'll deal with in a minute, a lot of the onus here falls onto the publication to make sure they're not spreading misinformation, to make sure they're fact-checking, that they've got a code of ethics. You'll see on Facebook, there's now an information block on different articles, so you can get information about their publication. And then the onus also falls onto us as the readers. There's a lot of information out there. Not all of it is good information, and we need to get smart. This problem isn't going away. We need to get smart and start to ascertain, does this look real? Have we heard about the publication, etc.?
Now, I know that Facebook is trying to curb fake news a lot, but the truth of the matter is sometimes it is impossible, like you said, to monitor that, and people's reputations can and have been damaged in the past. Is it illegal to spread fake news about a person?
Okay, so this is where it gets crucial, and this is something that's going to be really relevant for the two of you. So it's not illegal because we have freedom of speech, and freedom of speech is only limited by these three things. So you can't incite violence, you can't have propaganda for war, and you can't spread hate speech, which is racism, sexism, etc. But if it's not that, you can say whatever you want.
So basically the person could say, oh, Leanne made so much money using this, and that's okay.
Okay.
Even though it didn't happen.
No, because because we all have what we call personal rights. So you have the right to privacy. Now, if someone says something about you or puts a picture of you out into the public, that can infringe your right to privacy. But everyone's right to privacy works differently. So I, as someone who's not really in the public eye, have a greater expectation of privacy than, say, the two of you, because you are celebrities, and you would have even a lesser expectation of privacy than, say, Cyril Ramaphosa, who is the president. So if we limited their right to privacy as people that are in the public eye, what you would be doing is you'll be curtailing, you'll be getting rid of media. So the right to privacy works differently. But then you have another right, which is the right to your dignity. And if your right to dignity is infringed by an article saying something about you that you didn't say, spreading false information, then that's what we call defamation. And defamation is the intentional harming of someone's reputation. So this article about you would essentially constitute defamation, because it says you said something which wasn't true, and it can damage your own personal brand. So you do have rights, but they are not simple rights, and they work differently for different people.
So what can I do? I find a picture of myself, and it doesn't have to be me, anyone out there who finds a picture of themselves attached to an article that is completely not true. What do I do? What can I do?
Brilliant. What you can do, first of all, is prevention is the best cure. Of course, these are articles, the pictures that are online of you. But first thing you can do is make sure you don't put anything yourself onto the internet which you don't want. WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger and the private services are still the internet. So if you're sending pictures out there that you don't want out there, please be very, very careful. The internet is not a safe place. Second of all, what you can do is you can ask the site to take it down. Write to them and say, you did not give permission, it's an infringement of your rights, take it down. If they don't take it down, you can send a letter of demand. If the site refuses, you can go to the domain host or the ISP, and you can say, you are busy hosting something which is illegal or infringe my rights, please take it down. If they don't, then you can go to the Advertising Standards Authority or other local bodies, and you can try to get them to take it down. And the last thing that you do, and this is very relevant for yourselves as celebrities or people in the public eye, is you need to manage your brand. Your personal brand is valuable to you. You can trademark your name, you can protect it. Where you do see articles about you online that you're not happy with it, you need to be asked them to take it down. Your brand can be managed very, very carefully. And that's what we all need to start doing in this new age where information is just out there.
Whew, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah. Welcome to the 21st century. It's not getting easier.
Any last words?
No, I think the last words that I want to say is, what we all need to do as readers is we can't rely on the law to protect us, because the law does the most important job, which is protecting free speech. So we need to get smart. Make sure you are not spreading fake news. Make sure you're smart about what you're reading online. And when you do see fake news, something like that, you need to report it to the site. And what's brilliant about this article about you, which I had a look at, you didn't need to sue. Your fans did the work for you. Your brand is so well managed that you had your army of fans saying to the site, this is fake news, we don't believe it, and it was discredited immediately. And that's the strongest thing that you can do, and you've already done it.
Geesh.
Wonderful.
Thanks to you guys very much
Hear,
for that,
hear.
because I mean, it's obviously very unsettling when something like that happens. But Eitan, thank you very much.
My
You
pleasure.
can, of course, follow at Expresso Show for more of these kind of segments. They will always remain new every single week. So now what, we look at the more unconventional side of the law.